Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is Space Wolves versus Tau Empire, fighting across this desert terrain, ruins here in the centre, abandoned crates and ammunition boxes and containers, and then across no man's land here, craters, rocky outcrops and palm trees, and it'll be across this desert terrain that the Tau will seek to do battle with the Space Wolves Space Marines chapter. Right, so welcome to this 2,000 points game, Space Wolves versus Tau Empire. We've already played part 1, that's on the Plus channel, so you can check that out. And now part 2, we're going to play this battle again, Tau against the Space Wolves. I'm not going to give the result away what happened in the first battle, but we'll see what happens now in this second episode. The important battles, the big clashes, we've decided to do double episodes of the important games. But I'm going to run the Tau here, and then James will happily take command of the Space Wolves. So it is a brigade detachment here for the Tau, and Battle Forged, it's Tau Sept, so 5+ on Overwatch here for these units. HQs, I have 4 of them. First is the Commander with quadruple fusion blaster, then Nefarial, then a Cadre Fireblade with Markerlight for him. Then the 4th HQ is Long Strike in his Hammerhead gunship with the Rail gun, smart missile systems and 2 Seeker missiles. Then for troops, you have to take 6 of them for a brigade. So I have 4 units of strike teams, each of those is a unit of 10 with no upgrades, with pulse rifles, and then 2 units of breachers with their pulse blasters at no upgrades for them. Fast attack, you have to take 3, so I've taken 1, 2, 3 units of shield drones, each of those is a unit of 4. Then for elites, 2 Firesight marksmen with pulse pistols and marker lights. And then the 3rd elite is the Ghost Kill with 2 fusion blasters and the cyclic Iron Raker. Target lock for him as well, so he can move and still fire heavy weapons at normal ballistic skill. And then also 2 stealth drones have been taken by him also. So that just leaves the heavy supports. I've gone for a second Hammerhead number 2. Again, the same equipment as Long Strike, so railgun, 2 Seeker missiles and smart missile systems for him. Then broadsides, 2 units of 2. The first with the high yield missile pods and smart missile systems, each of them carrying a Seeker missile as well. And I've given them velocity trackers. Nope, I have given them advanced targeting system actually for the extra AP -1. You can only take one's upgrade for those. It's been a difficult choice, but it's advanced targeting system for them with the missiles, and then velocity trackers have been given to this squad with the heavy rail rifles, double plasma rifles as well, and each of them has taken a Seeker missile as well. So that's the Tau list. It's quite large in size. It's heavily refined, a lot of versions of this Tau army, but now a list that I think is pretty strong. And of any of the armies that I command, I think this one perhaps stands a chance of taking on the Ultramarines and the Astra Militarum and trying to gain the top spot on the channel. But difficult task for them. But regardless, here in this episode, it's Space Wolves that they will be fighting. So we'll take a look and see what James has. This is the Space Wolves list here that James will be commanding. 2,000 points. It's battalion, detachment and battle force. 8 command points available here for this list. So I'll run through what we have here. James will happily take command and try and lead them to victory. James eager to try and get his teeth sunk into this Tau force. All right, so HQs, there's 2 of them. Crom, Dragon Gaze, just there at the front with his axe, and then Canis Wolfborn just here. He's the Warlord, Saga of the Wolfkin for him, so Wolf Guard units, he will affect the Wolf Guard cavalry, and also the Wolfen as well, ignoring morale, and an extra attack for them, units of N6 on the charge. Then for troops, unit of 12, 2 units of 12 Blood Claws, all with bolt pistols and chainswords, a unit of 10 Grey Hunters, 2 plasma guns in there. They've all taken bolt pistols, chainswords and bolters for them. Then with a Fenrisian Great Axe and Blizzard Shield is a Venerable Dreadnought. Then the Murderfang with his claws and a Heavy Flamer and a Stormbolter. And he's interesting. He's a character, so he can hide behind stuff. Then Wolfen here with 2 great axes, Wolfen claws, and then 2 of them with thunderhammers and storm shields. Then another elite unit of Terminators, thunderhammer, storm shield for the sergeant, frost axe and storm bolter for another one of the Terminators. Another one has a power sword and storm bolter, and then 2 of them have the wolf claws, each of them a set of wolf claws each. Then Thunderwolf cavalry, 3 of them carrying bolt pistols and chainswords, and then 2 of them carrying frost axes, and then also the storm shield as well. And then the Stormwolf gunship, expensive in points. It is the Storm Raven equivalent here for the Space Wolves. 2 twin multi-melters, that's 4 multi-melter shots coming from this thing. Double laser cannon, twin laser cannon as well, and the Hellfrost cannon available from that also, and that can transport 16 models. So that's the Space Wolves list. It's 2,000 points exactly. This army's been painted up on commission by Siege Studios, so you can check them out. They've painted all of the units here in this list, the vehicles also. So they've done an excellent job. I asked them to copy the basing technique that I use for my other armies, and so they've copied that, used the same flock and so on. They've customized that nicely, and so this army fits nicely onto the channel. So check them out. I think they've done an excellent job, but you can go on their website. Instagram as well, Siege Studios, massive following on there. They give you updates of all the different projects that they paint as well. The link will be in the description for Siege Studios in the video description below. Just to mention for the Tau, Warlord then will be the Cadre Fireblade for Unity Devastation granted to him, and then the Relic, the Pure Tide Engram Neurochip given to him also. Just I think he's more survivable and lets the commander move around with a bit more freedom. And then James, no relics allowed for his army because it's all named characters. And then the Warlord is Canis Wolfborn here, Saga of the Wolfkin, as we've already mentioned. All right, so the scenario is No Mercy. It's kill points. It's the regular mission from the 40k rulebook, mission number 2. So it's a kill points based game. 1 point picked up for each unit destroyed, and slay the Warlord, First Blood, and Line Breaker. So the aim of the game is to kill as many models as possible, which James will happily do, or attempt to do, with the Space Wolves. And No Mercy, an appropriate name for this battle here, as these two sides prepare to clash. A lot of hatred going on between these two factions already, because they've already fought a battle that has taken place, in quite a eventful game it was, for sure. So Spearhead Assault, Tau have elected to go at this end. They won the roll-off, so we've randomised the map, but they've chosen to go at this end of the board. That's the position of their line. Centre of the board is here, 9 inches, and then a further 9 inches back will be the Space Wolves. Sort of open ground here, with plenty of line of sight blocking terrain on this map, so areas for the Space Wolves to take cover and hide. I think perhaps that may well help them as they seek to advance up the board. No doubt the Space Wolves will launch a very aggressive attack here against the Tau gun line in an effort to try and break them, but we'll see. We'll start alternating placing units on the board next. Just to mention the battle mat that we're using in this game, Sands of Time, it's by gamemat.eu. They produce these battle mats. They're an excellent foundation for games. They roll out nice and flat. It's this mouse mat material. Roll it flat on top of the table, and then we place our terrain features on top and use some stone and scatter as well. Also to mention the terrain, not all of the terrain, but a good portion of it is by gamemat.eu as well. This industrial terrain set, that's one I've been painting up. And then here's containers here. These are from that set as well, and there's a whole lot of other terrain that's part of that industrial set. So gamemat.eu, they produce these mats, nice and figure friendly, nice and soft, nice and quiet for dice rolling. They also produce lots of different terrain sets available from them also, so you can check them out. That's gamemat.eu. I'll mention the terrain as well. Check out the tutorial on the channel here, and I'll show you how to paint the terrain. This is terrain freshly painted up from the Kill Team terrain set. Excellent, brilliant terrain. We really, really like it. So we've hurriedly tried to get this painted up for our games, and I like the desert scheme. It matches in nicely with the terrain that we already have. So check out the tutorial that's available for that, and follow that step by step, and I'll show you how to paint the terrain as you see it here in the video, and I've actually merged in. This is the cardboard board that you get with the Kill Team game. I've just blended it in with the terrain just to create nice. Yeah, it's worked out quite well. Okay, so deployment is complete here. All the units have been placed on the board. James does have some reserves that will turn up somewhere, turn 1 onwards. So Space Wolf deployment, James getting as close to the edge of his wedge, the tip of his spearhead assault here, as possible. Thunderwolf Cavalry leading the way. Bloodclaws just behind, Canis Wolfborn as well, Murderfang on the right hand side, Grey Hunters just behind him, the Stormwolf gunship. Inside there is 12 Bloodclaws and Crom, and then finally on the left hand side is the Venerable Dreadnought with a Fenrisian Great Axe and Blizzard Shield. So densely packed pack of wolves here, getting ready to move out. And then for the Tau, not as enthusiastic to be at the edge of their deployment zone, but still they have gone to the edge mostly. There is a infiltrating ghost kill here, just in no man's land, kept 12 inches, nicely over 12 inches away from the Space Horse. He's getting ready to take advantage of potential turn 1 if the Tau win the roll-off. Then across here, gunliners spread out from here, running all the way across. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Fire Warrior strike teams. The Ethereal and the Cadre Fireblade are just here. A little bit vulnerable, but they can move around. And then the broadsides, 1 and 2 units just there. Breachers right on top. And then the 2 Firesight Marksmen at the very top as well. An excellent commanding view across the table. Breachers anchoring the left-hand side just to prevent any deep strikers from getting too close to our more valuable assets here. The commander's just tucked at the back, along with shield drones, 1 unit there and 2 units just at the back, and the 2 hammerheads. Long strike tucked away, quite nicely hidden, again just in case turn 1 doesn't go in the favour of the Tau, and then hammerhead number 2 on the right hand side. The Tau have no reserves to come on the board. This is what they have. Then for the Space Wolves, the Bloodclaws and Crom, they're inside the transport, inside the flyer. What's the name of the stratagem you played here, Orphan?
Cunning of the Wolf or something.
Yeah, he's allowed to flank with these. So turn 1 onwards, James will be able to deploy them. 1 command point, yeah. There's usual restrictions, so turn 2 he'll be more free to choose any flank he wants. Has to deploy within 6 inches of a flank of a board edge and more than 9 inches away from enemy models, just to try and protect them. And then here, the Terminators will teleport strike in onto the table as well, turn 1 onwards. So this is a tough matchup for the Space Wolves. They have some distance to cover, and they've got to try and survive potentially a blistering amount of firepower that can come from the Tau. But it's too late now. The 2 armies are deployed, and there's no going back. The Tau, this is the turn 1, dreaded turn 1 roll-off. The Tau will roll first. And we roll 3. It's beatable, for sure. James is on +1 here, because he finished deploying miles before the Tau finished.
No command rerolls anymore.
There's a nice lot of tasty victory points available here for this Tau list. There's a lot of soft units. If you can reach them is the question. This is the roll.
I thought I got it right.
I just can't look.
A 6.
Oh, he's rolled a 6. We'll try and seize initiative.
Oh, no.
James will howl like a wolf if we roll a 6. Ah! Oh, no! No, it's all gone wrong. Oh, dear.
Just when I want to go first.
Dear. Sorry, James, but
Can I spend a stratagem to force you to reroll?
There's nothing here. I'm afraid to say a moment of ecstasy there. James at the point of rejoicing, now head in his hands. The Tau get to go first. They've seized the initiative.
We've stole the initiative from me.
We grabbed the bone from the wolf. Oh dear. Right, okay, so Tau will go first. It was meant to be the Space Wolves. They were geared up for the charge, but the Tau seized the initiative here on the Space Wolves, and they'll get to let loose with the first volley here in this battle, try and slow this Space Wolves attack down. Turn 1 coming up next for the Tau. Alright, so on turn 1 here, just contemplating what to do with the tower. I think just going to lock down here and maintain the gun line, not to panic, and to lay as much firepower into this Space Wolves block as possible. We're going to have to be merciless with the tower, brutal, cold and calculating our firepower, because we know the potential damage that this army can do if it reaches the tower gun line. So we're going to have to be merciless here and try and reduce the Space Wolves down as much as possible. Potential ambush here, position the Ghost Kill with the range to try and close in here for an early ambush. Maybe able to pull that off as well. There's some units that I've hidden, like Long Strike, for example. I need to reposition him. Most of the gun line should remain where it is, but we'll just make some initial moves here with the tower, try and line them up ready for this first round of vital shooting. Alright, so movement done for the tower. It's just repositioning to try and get as many guns to bear as possible onto the James's army. Okay, so Ghost Kill's moved out here. He's gone 12, getting ready to fire in this direction. Might go after the Dreadnought or the Flyer, because that's James's deadly firepower, pretty much in that Flyer just there. It is deadly firepower, but it's a big flying brick, something for the tower to shoot at, for sure. We've held position here with these strike teams. The Pharaoh's granted reroll 1s for everybody within 6, battlesuits and infantry. The Fireblade has remained stationary as well. These 2 squads have occupied the ruins and pushed out, and that's created room for Long Strike to go over 12 inches. Hammerhead number 2's remained stationary. These have all remained still. Commander's remained where he is, but he has pronounced the Koyan, Master of War, so units within 6 of him will get to reroll hits for this turn. Breachers maintaining position, and maintaining position on top of the containers there as well. Yes, just checking the rules. As long as units don't move, then units within 6 inches of the commander can reroll hits, so it's a good number of units. That is the end of movement phase. There's no psychic phase for either side, so go straight into shooting phase next for the tower. Okay, so started shooting phase here. Started with marker lights first of all. So we've put a marker light on the Thunderwolf Cavalry. That came from the Fireblade. Then across here we put one onto the Venerable Dreadnought. That came from this guy here. And this one got his hit after reroll 1 actually, for being near the Ethereal. And we got the hit onto the Storm Raven. And Storm Raven! Storm Wolf gunship, and then we played uplink marker light stratagem and gained another 2. That means we can let loose with our Seeker missiles. So we'll start with the Ghost Kill, trying to ambush the Dreadnought here, because I think he's pretty much the only one that can see that target. James does have this Blizzard Shield to try and protect him. There's 8 wounds to try and get through. First is 2 Fusion Blasters, the Enforce. That's a miss. Yeah, I'm going to go for the... Oh, boy. It's early on, 50-50. We'll go for it. 4+. We get it. And a 6+ to keep. No. All right, so that's our... that stratagem used up for this phase. So no more command rerolls, but we're glad we got the 2 hits. Just hope they wound. 3+ to wound. Oh, one of them doesn't wound. Okay. So James gets a 4+ invuln save here. It would be AP -4. But he'll take the Blizzard Shield save here.
Make him waste the command point. Yeah.
Oh, good. So good. Invuln saves. Invuln saves, we found this in the previous battle. Invuln saves is crucial for the Space Wolves to try and help keep them alive. Absolutely crucial. One of the biggest, one of the biggest things. Right, Cyclic Iron Raker, going to overcharge with it. So it gets a straight 6 shots. I can reroll 1s, thankfully. So we have failed there, so we take a mortal wound. And I'm looking for 4s to hit the Dreadnought. Yeah, down to 9 here on him. Don't worry, everybody, we have technology that can restore damage. Strength's 8, I think. Yeah, strength 8. 3s to wound. 2 get through. It's -1, so you can take any type of save, doesn't matter. 4 up. to try and block these. 2 saves of 4+, yeah. I think Dreadnought's going to survive here. James will be happy about this. He does +1, so it's just going to be D3 damage, which is 2 wounds taken. Hang on.
Oh, yes.
Venerable. 6 is to ignore damage.
Unyielding Ancient.
None.
None. All right. So 2 wounds taken. 6 left here on the Dreadnought. It's still very much alive. So that combination of invuln save plus ignoring damage makes the Venerable Dreadnought pretty tough. Shame the Blizzard Shield isn't a 3+.
It used to be a 3+.
It used to be.
I'm surprised they changed that.
Yeah.
That's the only letdown of the new codex, in my opinion.
Oh. Okay.
That's just my opinion.
No, I think that's a shame as well. Right. So here. We need to go after this flyer. I think it's imperative that the tower bring that thing down. We can't let that brick float across our tower gun line. Got plenty of options here. Perhaps we'll make a start with Longstrike himself. So 2s to hit. -1, then he gets +1. So he's on 2s. He gets a 5.
Don't roll a 5 or a 6.
3s to wound. Oh, that's good because we are +1 to our wound rolls, and now we're on to mortal wounds. 3, and then it's AP -4, so they bypass the armour, and a further 3. So 6 wounds dealt out there by Longstrike as in total. So Seeker Missiles next in 2s, yes. 3s to wound. Oh, 2 wounds coming through. It's -2 though, so James gets 2 saves of 5+. No, oh dear. 2d6 damage. 8. What's that mean?
Blow up.
Has it gone? 8 left. Yes, 8 wounds scored and 8 left. So that's the end of that. 350 points. Fly's gone from Longstrike. Deadly. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. So roll dice do not get a 6 because when this thing blows up, it goes kaboom very bad. 1. All right, so it doesn't blow up. James will roll up for the models inside. There'll be 13 dice to roll in total. See if any of those succumb to this crashing Stormwolf. But it has been destroyed here. Longstrike has dealt with it very brutally with some nasty firepower. All right, so that's the damage that's done. One of the Blood Claws brought down, but the rest have clambered out along with Crom as well. So that's the position they're in. They sort of, some of the models have gone sort of 3 inches away from the base. They're sort of here. Crom's just there, just to gain a few more inches in movement. But they'll be walking as well. They were looking forward to. They had their seatbelts on, in their leather seats, getting ready to move out. But the flyer's been brought down here before it's had a chance to get moving. I don't know about flyers. Do you think they should be off the table? Really, shouldn't they? They should be flying on.
Flyers, they should be
flying on
the table.
Yeah.
In this edition. I think they should change that.
And I think we've sort of seen a reason why that would make sense. That would help protect. That would take a lot of the sharpness away from turn 1 as well. Yep. If you're protecting yourself, keeping your flyers off the table, then I think that's sensible. It worked well in 7th. I liked it in 7th, keeping flyers off. Saw the logic of it. But here, having a flyer parked up like that and then just having it blown out of the sky, that doesn't feel quite right. But that's the way the rules are at the moment. And the Stormwolf has been brought down in spectacular fashion here by Longstrike. See what Hammerhead number 2 can do if he can see any target. So we'll fire at the Thunderwolf Caravan. That's all we can see through this gap and to here. So we'll go solid shot with the railgun. Get our hit. Get a wound. And James can choose to either take the damage or go to a 3+ invuln save.
3+ invuln save.
Okay. Do you still have a reroll left?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
It may well prove helpful. Okay, so solid railgun shot. See if you can bounce it off the shield on a 3+. No. So here's the command reroll. Here it comes. He wants to keep the Thunderwolf Cavalry alive. They're a good screening unit. He passes. All right. Pure Tide Engram Neurochip. No, all right, we get to try and create extra command points each time stratagems are used. So that's it. Smart missile systems are out of range. Can't fire Seeker missiles because we don't have enough marker light hits. We could, but it'd be 6s to hit. Okay, so that's the Hammerheads fired. Can't expect much more from them. That has been pretty good. That fly's gone. Pretty devastating blow. That's 350 points just knocked out of the sky. So the crippling blow there. Well, not crippling necessarily, but it is annoying to lose that amount of firepower and points quite quickly. We'll go to broadsides next. I'm not sure how many of these fire warriors have been ranged. 30 inches, we may well get some shots off here against the Thunderwolf cavalry. We'll see what kind of damage we can do with these broadsides next. Alright, so we'll fire with the high yield missile pods first of all. This unit of broadsides, they're going to go after the Thunderwolf cavalry. They can see them quite clearly through the gap and from the elevated position. So high yield missile pods first of all. 16 shots in total, 8 coming from each of those models. We're on reroll ones, which we have just this one, and we'll be on 4s for hits. Let's take away the misses. Hang on a second, no, we are on better than that. We're on reroll hits because of the commander, Koyan, and he's helped us achieve some more hits here. Strength 7, so we'll be on 3s to wound. Now, yes, 3s to win. So yeah, it's free unity devastation's been declared against them. So these 6s are a further AP -1. So we'll just push those over there. We'll take away these failures. It's AP -2 in total with advanced targeting systems. James has 7 saves at -2 and 2 saves at -3. I'd imagine you'll go straight to your invuln saves to try and keep these alive. So it's not going to matter. So it's a total of 9 saves.
The damage is
D3.
So I'm going to do one at a time.
One at a time, okay.
So I'm going to do the AP -3.
Yep.
So 3+ invulnerable save, Storm Shield. Saved.
It holds. We'll count these down here.
So
Every save that's made here is important. No, and the reroll's gone.
Yeah.
So it's D3 damage. It's a kill.
Oh!
Ouch. So it would be him just over there. Next. The next one. 3+ save.
Yep.
Okay, next one.
Yep.
5. He's doing it here. There's 5 left to go.
Yep.
Oh, he's done that one. So you're not going to get a wipeout here. It's going to take more firepower. He's passed another one. Come on, James. Everyone's rooting for you.
Lehman Russ. Yes.
Oh.
Now for the Emperor.
So you heard what we said earlier on. Invuln saves is fundamental for Space Wolves, and this is what you're seeing take place here. 3+. The next one. There's 2 left to go. No. D3 damage. It's just 1 wound. Keep going. 1 left to go.
That's a drop dice.
Come on, James.
Now this is a roll. No, no, I don't.
And D3 damage. Duh, got him. He's gone. So the invuln save's removed here from the Thunderwolf cavalry. Okay, so the next broadsides. Now these may well prove more effective because James has lost his invuln saves now. It's regular bolt pistols and chainswords now. So firing at that target needing 4s. Duh. 3s to win. Ooh. Okay, -4. So D6 damage on the first one. And D6 damage on the next one. Oh, God, unbelievable. Alright, it's 2 more Thunderwolf cavalry brought down. The wolves here smeared across the board by the heavy caliber gunfire. Oh dear. So I'd love to say no animals were harmed in the making of this video, but they're being hurt really bad here. Or maybe just maybe the Tau perhaps wanting to keep the native animals alive are just picking off the riders. And so far no animals have been harmed because of Tau technology. Picking on the riders and not the animals themselves. So that's that done. Out of range here with the plasma rifles. So yeah, well, we might have some firepower here, 30-inch range firepower to do. So resolve what's left of the Tau firepower, but it's been pretty good here on turn 1. All right, so remaining firepower from the Tau, the fire warriors that could fire that were in range, we took 1 wound off the remaining Stormwolf, Thunderwolf cavalryman. So that's the end of shooting here for the Tau. It has been pretty devastating. The flyer with its deadly firepower brought down. That's the longer range firepower that James needed perhaps to take on these vehicles. That's gone. And the Thunderwolf cavalry, the screen, providing some protection, but they've been stripped down here just to one model left. So pretty devastating blow here on turn 1 for the Space Wolves. Still plenty of models on the table. Plus remember those 2 powerful units in Deep Strike Reserve as well, the Wolfen and the Thunderwolf Cavalry. But Tau have definitely made their mark here on turn 1, and so Space Wolves will need to focus on what to do next. Do they charge down the throat of the enemy here? I think they have to. You have to get in there and try and cause trouble for the Tau. There's 2 points available here, potentially. The drones are a separate unit now, so there's 2 points available there that can be picked up by the Space Wolves. And then it's all about trying to close the range here to the main Tau gun line, and then turn 2 will be the chance for the Space Wolves to strike and try and get in amongst the Tau. But for now, Space Wolves need to make their moves, make their advance, try and close the gap towards the Tau gun line. We're going to the first turn next for the Space Wolves. Alright, James on the move here. Nice target here for the Venerable Dreadnought to charge into. Should make short work of the Ghost Kill. So James will be happy to plunge that into combat. He's already moved these Blood Claws up, and Crom has moved up as well, making use of this container here to try and block line of sight, try and protect them for now, and the other units on the move as well. It's good sized units. They'll be able to absorb a fair bit of damage. Lone Wolf.
Yes.
That could be an option. I'm going to play the stratagem.
Yeah, that's at the end of the phase.
End of the phase. So you can do it at the end of the movement phase.
Yeah.
But it's going to turn that lone Thunderwolf cavalryman into a character. Good stratagem that for the Space Wolves. Good, nice fluffy one as well. Yeah, we've moved on with the movement here. You can't turn him into a lone wolf yet. You have to be reduced to 1 wound remaining. That Thunderwolf cavalryman still has 2 wounds left, so he can't quite be a lone wolf yet. So James has moved up and advanced. Canis Wolfborn's moved and advanced as well. Murderfang's advanced and come across here to try and be protected as a character. So we're going to try and use the Blood Claws as a screen, and James just finishing off his movement here by putting the Grey Hunters inside the crater. They'll get a 2+ cover save. Now, so using the bulk of these Marines, they'll absorb the damage. There's 24 Marines to try and get through before we can try and reach Crom and Murderfang as well. So James using that tactic of a screen to try and protect the characters. They've made some progress, but they're here, and the Tau gun line is still up here, so still some distance to go. You're going to bring the Terminators in and the Wolf? No, because they'd have to go into deployment zone, so turn 2 will be a better option. So again, it's a case now of trying to do with this here, and then surviving the Tau turn 2 firepower, and then seeing what James has left. Try and launch an assault upon the Tau position. It's tough. It is a tough nut to crack, this Tau gun line. You can see a ring of defence running all the way around this perimeter, and inside is the tasty, heavy firepower the Tau have available. So that's movement done. No psychic phase. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Space Wolves on their turn 1. And that's the end of shooting phase. There's none. Everything advanced.
Except for him.
Yes. So even these guys here advanced.
Yeah, I was out of range.
Right, so it's advanced moves made by everybody. Just think it's any assault weapons, not really. No, alright. So we're going to assaults next. There's none over here, but definitely an assault down here, the Venerable Dreadnought. That'll be a fair exchange. If you take him out, it's sort of points for points, so he will have accomplished something if he gets in here and destroys the Ghost Kill. Workout charges, James should easily make it in. Resolve some Overwatch next. So I'm going to overcharge here with the Cyclic Iron Raker, and we have missed. And that will be a mortal wound taken as well. And there's not much else I can do about that. No, so we'll take a mortal wound. We'll drop down to 8. That'll make James's job a bit easier of trying to destroy this thing. And then fusion blasters here. In 5s. No, missed. So no damage. James is going to be automatically in. So it's going well here. The Venerable Dreadnought will make it into combat. Right, she's made his charge move and has swung around here. Declare the charge against both units. So this is going to be interesting. James ideally would like to try and destroy both of these units here.
Applies to Dreadnoughts.
Does apply to Dreadnoughts, yeah. So 2's to hit becomes 3's to hit because of the minus for the axe, and then +1 to hit for charging for Space Wolves. So 4 attacks. James is just going to put everything into the Ghost Kill. And what?
I'm going to use the cleave attack.
Okay.
So it's the hard hitting one.
Oh, right then.
There's 2's.
2's.
All hit.
Good.
because of the chapter trait.
Yes. Strength?
And it is strength +4, so therefore be strength 10.
Okay, 3's to win.
AP minus 3, d6 damage.
Nice.
All wounded.
Cool. Once they get in combat, they're good. -3.
-3.
6s? None. 4d6 damage. Oh, well done.
Goodbye.
Oh, cleaved. 17 wounds on the ghost kill. That is nice. God, the Venerable Dreadnought. He takes his time waddling up the table once he reaches a target. That's the kind of damage he can do. Well done. James will be, well, however this game goes, he'll be happy. Yeah, be happy with that result. Nice. Yeah, bit of pride there. A point picked up for a kill point there, and he's done it in style. And he's gone into the drones here. Can you use stratagems to try and wipe them out?
No, it only applies to infantry models.
Is it? Right, okay, she's sort of stuck there. So I can fight back with these drones.
Sure.
So, 5s, nothing. Okay. Poor little things don't know what's going on. Crazy Dreadnought's just taking out the ghost skill. But that's ended James's turn on a high note there. Good to see the Venerable Dreadnought making short work of the ghost skill in close combat. So that is the end of the turn. Bit of consolation there for the Space Wolves. They've taken out one of the decent units there for the tower. And now we'll press on to the second turn. Another Firestorm potentially heading the Space Wolves' way. Can they endure? James needs to keep as much of his force alive as possible as they try and close the ground to try on the next turn to launch a decent attack against this tower gun line. It's tough here. Tower have taken the advantage of going first, and I'm sure they're going to press ahead and not let go of the advantage that they have. This army has ambitions for the greater good, but we'll see. We'll press on to their second turn coming up next for the Tau Empire. Right, so Tau turn 2 movement complete. The gun line has shifted ahead, this unit moving further ahead here, 6 inches, and the line clustering up here, ready to lay some firepower down through the gap just here. A lot of Space Wolves we can't see, but we can see through in this direction. Thunderwolf Cavalry, the lone cavalryman just there, Canis as well can all be seen as that. So I think that's what we're going to focus on. And then firing down this direction, going to try and take out this Dreadnought as well. That's the plan for the tower, just to blast away as many units as possible, just try and protect the gun line and do as much damage to the Space Wolves' force. Damage enough that they can't recover from is the plan. But we'll go on to shooting phase next for the tower, see what they can do. Alright, so we're in the shooting phase, we're on the shooting phase here. Markolites have all hit their targets, so one of them's got a hit on the Thunderwolf Cavalry, One's got a hit here on the Blood Claws, and then 1 hit come through on the Dreadnought, which we then played Uplink Markerlight and got an extra 3. So there's 4 Markerlights in total on him. He's the priority target for the Tau to remove. Just to mention, actually, the movement phase, I broke away from combat 8 inches with these. Just to see if we can sneak up the table and go for Line Breaker later on. So, long strike then. I think we'll start with him, and we'll fire at the fire at the Dreadnought here. So 2s for a hit, rerolling 1s.
Oh.
So get the hit.
Strength 10, toughness 7.
Right, so we're on 3s to win. Come on, reroll. So this is the result. So 4. And then 6+ to keep that with an engram neurochip. No, so lose another command point. Still got about 10 left. And then James can roll an invuln save here, a 4+.
Only got 2 wounds left.
So 4+ invuln save to try and block this here. James may want to use a command point. How many command points you got left?
I've got
6. Oh right, still plenty. Oh, 3. Would have been a pass in the index.
Why?
Do you want to re-roll it?
I'm going to have to.
It's going to have to, yeah. All right, so we're on 4+.
No.
Another 3. Oh no, 6+ to get a 3, but yes. So we get a command point from that with our Pure Tide engram neurochip. So I roll my damage here. It's 5. See if James can block these. I think the Venerable Dreadnought's in trouble. No, he's gone. All right, so Venerable Dreadnought destroyed here, and he doesn't detonate. So 3+ invuln is sorely missed.
Yep.
For sure. Never mind. So that's long strike done. Even 8th edition, he is one for picking out targets. Deadly accurate firepower, and still rate the railgun as a weapon. 21 shots coming from this Fire Warrior squad. We are going to have 3 Unity Devastation, so 6 to wound is a further minus, or it's 8 -1 on the AP. Going to go after him. Some of them are rapid fire, also getting volley fire, extra shots as well. That's why we've got quite a few shots here. The Ethereal's granted reroll 1s for units that remain stationary. That unit did. So there's a marker light hit there anyway. So I'll reroll all of our 1s. And then dropped a dice. I'll just reroll this one. Okay, so looking for 4s. So yeah, good number of hits. Wow. Strength 5, toughness 5. No, this may well bring him down. So there's 1, 2, 3 there, needing 4+ to stay alive, and no. 2 wounds taken. No, alright, so Thunderwolf Cavalryman removed. So that's him gone. It's the gunline regular infantry starting to fire now, causing trouble. Right, so we have pressed ahead with more shooting. We finished the shooting phase actually. These have fired with the Dreadnought gone and obscured targets here. We could fire down at these Blood Claws. We've reduced them down. There's 6 of them left out of that squad, so they've been reduced down by half. A lot of the damage coming through from this squad here. Nasty firepower, sort of general all-round firepower from them. They can fire at vehicles, heavy infantry, regular infantry, and cause trouble for any type of target. So a useful unit to have, and they've caused trouble there for the Blood Claws. And we fired a few of these, could see through the gap here, and no damage taken on that unit. James passed 1 save on a 3+. So that is shooting phase finished for the Tau. No combats. Still at the moment a healthy distance between the Tau and this group of foot slogging Space Wolves. We're going to go on to the second turn now for the Space Wolves coming up next. Now they've got a chance to cause some kind of trouble. There's a unit of Wolfen and a unit of Terminators, 2 deadly elite units that can turn up. Now they're free to turn up anywhere on the table so long as they're more than 9 inches away from the enemy. So expect them to attack in this area here, and then James to press on with his attack here also. He's got to get into combat, got to start slaying Tau units. James says it's a very tough task. It really is tough. But we'll just see.
I'm playing a computer game on maximum hard level.
All right, James says, yeah, it's on.
So it's a challenge.
Big challenge here. This is an awkward combination, these two factions here. It seems like this is one of the prime armies that Tau would choose to take on. You know, a slower advance here from Space Wolves, and then a tightly packed Tau gun line. It suits the Tau very well here, so Space Wolves are struggling. We've got a number of good ideas that could improve the Space Wolf army for sure. Maybe drop the flyer, might be an idea, and take more Thunderwolf cavalry. I think they're a great screen. Maybe the Space Wolves need more of them. Have them as a screen ahead of the army to buy time for this to move up. It's difficult for the Space Wolves because the Tau got no intention of advancing towards the Space Wolves, and so the Space Wolves have to cover all the ground themselves. We'll go on to the second turn now for the Space Marines chapter. We'll see what they can do. What can they do is the question. Turn 2 coming up for them next. Right, so movement complete for the Space Wolves, and optimism has crept back in. I think we've got a game on our hands now because of the move that James has done. I've been tempted to be aggressive because I'm not playing Space Wolves, it's my army here, and I've been half rooting for them to see them do well, and I said, you've got to be aggressive. He's thinking about holding back and so on, but you've got to close him. So first of all, Grey Hunters, bit of tactical stuff from them. Models heading in this direction. Plasmas, though, conga lined out in this direction to try and take out the drones. There's a kill point available there and to try and prevent the line breaker as well. So a bit of tactical manoeuvring going on at the back. But very aggressive here. This is how it's meant to be for the Space Wolves on foot. 6 inches rolled up for an advance move, so 12 inches gone by these crazy blood claws. So they have made a massive stride ahead. Excellent progress from them. Because of their distance they moved, the characters have moved up. Murderfang and Crom Dragon Gaze moved up, nicely protected by this 12-man unit. Other units moved up here into cover, so they'll be harder to flush out. All making every model here has made an advance move, hasn't it? All of these.
He has.
Yes, they all have. Canis has as well. He's moved up as well. Okay.
Well in the advance.
Now that's healthy enough. If the entire Tau line fires, then there'll be trouble. But James has brought in the Wolfen and the Terminators onto this flank, just over 9 inches away. James will try and charge here to not worry about going into the crater. And that means that all the Tau units that fire in this direction means they'll not be firing in that direction. It means I'm sure James is going to be able to get units into combat, potentially this turn, and then whatever survives next turn. He's got loads of units poised to strike here against this Tau gun line. The Tau don't really have too far to retreat to, so there is a chance for some Space Wolf glory here. We'll go on to shooting phase for them next. So just at this stage, just to mention, James has his own YouTube channel. I always put it in the credits at the end of the video. It's JB Wargamer 87, so you can check that out. Search it up there on YouTube, or you can go to the channel homepage here at Striking Scorpion 82, and you'll see recommended channels, JB Wargamer 87. Head over there. James has started finally. Amongst all the other videos that he does, he's started battle reports, and he has a campaign running at the moment.
It's canon for the Imperial Guard in the lore. So it's the official.
Yeah, it's very lore-based. Yeah, no, it's a very thematic narrative play campaign that James is putting together. Loads of effort being put into that, and one of the videos is up already, and he has a whole series on the way, as well as all the other content that he has available on that channel as well. So check out JB Wargamer 87 to see what James is up to on his own channel. But for now, we are lining up shooting. There's none really here. All these units advanced. Got some firepower here to try and take out the drones, and a little bit of firepower here from the Terminators to resolve as well. All right. Next to no shooting here, really. Stormbolter shots coming through. James picking on shield drones, but no damage. And then down here, plasma caused. I failed an inbound save, but then I rolled a 5+ to keep the model alive, and so no damage there against the shield drones. But here, 3 fire warriors brought down. I've taken them from the front. James is not going to be worried about that because he can't charge these units anyway because they've advanced. So that's shooting phase done. That was firepower, bolter fire coming through from the Grey Hunters just there. Charges then, there'll be, frustrating, there'll be no charges across here. All these units advance, but they're set up to cause trouble next turn. But across here, James can try and break in to the compound here on this flank. Breachers stand in their way. James has 2 units available to try and make a charge. Terminators and also the Wolfen as well. I'm sure we're all rooting here to see if James can make it in, to try and make an initial break-in here to the Tau compound. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next. We'll see what the Space Wolves can do. All right, so we're in the middle of... James read all his dice. We're in the middle of Overwatch here. We're just out of range for any kind of supporting fire. This unit's been isolated here. We've fired. We caused 6 wounds at range 10 at -1. James just pulled off 6 3+ saves on the Terminators. It's a feel-good factor here. Now here comes the charge.
I'm charging on that direction, so I don't get the...
That's fine, and you can pile in that way. That's no problem at all. Yes, here it comes.
For us and the Emperor. Yes! 11!
11! Oh! Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Oh dear. This tower army's been circled by wolves here at the moment. We're starting to get a little bit worried.
And now the Wolfen!
Wolfen, yes. Okay.
9. I reroll charges because of Wolfen. No.
No, he's 4. Wolfen have not made it in.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing. At least the Terminators have made it in with a screaming 11-inch charge. We'll move those in and prepare for combat. Okay, so 11 inches brought James around here. We've done his pile-in move an extra 3 inches, so shifting them into the crater in that direction. So, this should be a tasty combat here for the Space Wolves. So, claws then.
Yep.
6 attacks in total. 2 attacks each, and then a pair of claws as an extra attack.
Yep.
There's 2 of them, so 6 attacks. 2's for hits.
2's for hits because of the chapter trait. So that's 5 hits.
Yep.
And it's strength 4.
3's to wound.
To wound, re-rolling because of lightning claws.
Yep.
All wounded. AP -2.
So 5 saves are 6+. Save 1, but 4 of the breaches hacked down so far. Power sword.
Yep.
2 attacks. So that will be 2's to hit.
4 hits.
And 3's to kill.
1 dead.
1 dead. So Breach is looking a bit thin on the ground. He's halfway through the squad. Frost axe next, 2 attacks.
You'll be thinner now, hopefully.
Yeah, but almost a wipeout. Don't think the wipeout's going to come, but we'll see. 2's for hits. 2's for kills, actually, because you're +2 strength for Frost axe.
It's AP -2.
Oh, right, so I do get a save. Okay.
Wounded.
6's. None, 2 more gone. So chance now for... If he gets a full house, it will be the wipeout that he's looking for.
Normally he'd be hitting on 4s, but he's hitting on 3s because he charged.
Yes. Extra attack? No, you're on 3 attacks.
No. He's only got 2 attacks, or just a regular Wolfguard Terminator.
Oh, Sergeant?
Leader. Pack leader's only got 2 attacks.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's 1 hit, 2's to pulverise. Yep.
This is the one, alright. Okay, so he's killed 8. Not bad. That squad's been decimated there by the Terminators. I'll fight back here. Missed. So that's the end of the pitiful attempt of the tower to try and fight back in combat. That's the stark contrast between these 2 armies. One army poor with its shooting, really. Once the flyers gone, the Space Wolves don't have much at all, but vicious in close combat. And the tower deadly with their firepower. But combat across the board here, there's no units that could stand any kind of chance here against the Space Wolves. So you may watch this game and you think, well, it's the tower just being cold, clean and efficient with their firepower, deleting units, but they have to play it that way. They have to keep the Space Wolves back, otherwise we'll get results as we've seen there with the Terminators. But good combat there. We'll resolve morale. James hasn't got the wipeouts, he hasn't picked up a point for these. We may auto pass them around, try and keep that unit alive and stop that point from being conceded. But now the tower, this is the most pressure that they've had here against the Space Wolves so far. They're being attacked on 2 sides, and they're hemmed in, boxed in this corner here. They've got to repulse the Space Wolves. Now's the time to break them. If ever the tower need to break them, it's now. Can they do it? It's the question. There's a lot of Space Wolves units to try and deal with. I think the tower do have the firepower to do it. But we'll see. We'll go on to their 3rd turn coming up next as we approach the halfway stage of the game. Alright, so tower movement done. We're not going to fall back here. The Fire Warriors have formed a crescent here, a semicircle of death. Fire in this direction. The aim is to try and reduce this squad of 12 down and then get through to the characters. That's the plan. It's cold-hearted, but the Tau, we asked you to join us in our alliance and you refused, the stubborn Imperium, and so for the cause of the greater good, all resistance must be swept from this sector. Not panicking here with the broadsides, they've remained stationary. I think these will fire off in this direction, and these I'm planning to fire off in this direction here. I think hammerheads are going to fire in this direction also at the Wolfen and the Terminators. There is a blistering amount of Tau firepower available here. Markalites remain stationary. The breaches that were there on top have gone 6 inches down to lend some fire support against the Terminators as well. That's Tau movement done. The commander's shifted out across as well, just keeping himself nicely within 18 inches of Murderfang. Tiny bit of movement across here as well. The drones have hovered around towards the back line also. That's movement done for the Tau. No panic, but we've realised that now is the time for them to break the Space Wolves here. We break them here. It's now or never for the Tau. Right, so we're on shooting phase here. Uplinked Markalite played, 2 Markalite hits coming through. That's 5 in total just to get the +1 to hit, just to make this gun line even more efficient here of its firepower. There's going to be about 100 shots coming in towards this squad. 5 Markalite hits in total though. So that's that done. We'll start, I think, with Long Strike. And Long Strike's going to fire at the Wolfen. Yes, no, we will. Not be put off here. So 2s for a hit. He's moved, but it's still 2s to hit. 2s for a hit. And the smart missile systems will fire at them as well if they're in range, if not the Terminators. But we'll roll for our wound here. That's D3 mortal wounds, which is just a mortal wound, and then James has an invuln save here to make. AP -4, strength 10. But he can
take on the Storm Shield.
Yeah.
So the Storm Shield will take the mortal wound.
Yes.
And I'm going to do 3 up invuln.
3 plus invuln. Okay. Invuln saves so important here for the Space Wolves.
Yes.
Passed. Alright, it's just a mortal wound taken. Right, Smarty missiles here. Re-rolling. Nope, we're not re-rolling ones. Toughness 4 and your strength 5. So yeah, some saves to make here. No minuses at all. So you can go regular saves, or you
I have to put it on the
have to put it on him. So 3+, 1 at a time. This is your 3+ invuln save here. Yes. No. Do you re-roll is the question. Tough choice. Does he re-roll at this stage and try and keep them alive? Or does he save re-rolls for like the sergeant down here and so on? Difficult choice. He's going to lose the model. Okay. And now you could put maybe 2 saves at 4+ on regular. One with the Wolf and Claws.
2.
Yeah, 2 saves at 4+. Go with the Wolf and Claws. Absorbs both. Nicely saved. Alright, it's just 1 Wolf and lost. I think James will be not too displeased with that. Okay, so that's Long Strike entirely finished. We've already fired his Seeker missiles. They're long gone. They're fired on turn 1. Next I'm going to fire the breaches. They're just over 5 inches away, so it's the 10-inch bracket. 20 shots with their Assault 2 weapons. No rerolls available here, so just looking for 4s. There's a ton of misses. We'll be on freeze to wound. Ooh. Some saves to make, then a 3+ at -1. Just the 1 wound taken. Interesting.
Put on the power sword.
Yes, go with the power sword's taking a wound. Alright. So yeah, Tau firepower struggling here at this stage.
Actually, I'll put it on axe.
Frost axe.
Is that Frost Axe?
Yeah, that's the more expensive. That's a 10-point weapon, that one.
Oh, sorry, I thought it looked like a regular power axe.
Oh no, it was
Oh,
Space
no.
Wolves. Yeah, frosty
Yeah,
axes.
it doesn't pass it.
Okay, power sword. Now, yeah, now our fingers hovering over the panic button, but not pressed it yet. But Tau firepower, we're struggling here. We've still got a hammerhead left. So they can't fire, they pull back. We've got these available here. I need to get our priorities right. I think we'll see what kind of damage we can do with this gun line next. Yeah, so we've been firing the gun line here, just checking the rules. It's for Unity Devastation. We've been playing it right. I chose that unit. It's visible to the Warlord. The Warlord's here, the Cadre Fireblade. Just explain how this works here. And then in each of your shooting phases, you can pick an enemy unit. I picked the Blood Claws there. You can see they've been wiped out here with this deadly firepower. It's visible to the Warlord. To the end of the phase, you can each time make a wound roll of a 6+ against a unit for attack made by a friendly Sept unit. So any unit. They're all Tau Sept. Within 6 inches of the Warlord, so all these units are placed within 6 inches. The armor penetration characteristic of that attack is improved by 1. So I was rolling loads of 6s there. It means that James has been knocked down to a 4-up save, trying to protect that unit of Blood Claws. So it was effective firepower, and that unit's been wiped out. It's only done by 2 Fire Warrior units here. We were getting 30 shots a unit here because of rapid fire and volley fire all combining together to make this gun line pretty deadly. So that was a subscriber suggestion, that put in the Warlord, making him the Warlord and getting the extra bonus there for Unity Devastation, and also putting the engram neurochip on that fight blade. So a small model, cheap in points, but he plays a vital role to help buff this Tau gunline. The pulse rifle reigns supreme here at the moment. Right, now we're going to fire the commander at the closest model, which is Murderfang. This is where we were trying to get through to. Gets his hits. Oh man. 3s to wound. Double wounded. Straight -4. There's no invuln. So it's 4d6 damage. And he's dead. Just about destroyed. Yep, so he's gone. James will roll to see if he detonates. Murderfang's gone. This is a deadly blow. He's rolled a 2. But Dreadnought destroyed. Ouch. Gone. From the Tower Commander, placed tactically behind the gun line, protected and able to use his firepower to root out heavier units. Now Crom Dragongaze stands alone amongst his fallen brethren here. What a saga taking place, but Tower firepower brutal. No, if we fire from this direction, actually it's that squad in cover that's going to be closer. Crom's semi-protected here at this stage. These units have already fired, but we'll press on here, resolving, or continuing to resolve Tower firepower here. It's deadly in this sector. Right, I'm going to try and bring down Crom. He is closer to this unit here. So 10 shots becomes 30 shots with volley fire and rapid fire. So, and we've got free unity. No, we don't have free unity devastation. All right. So all rooting to see if Crom can survive. And we're just on straight force to hit here. So we're not as effective this time around. So we're just going to remove all of these misses. Straight force to hit, and then we're looking for 3s to wound. Drop to dice, so I'm just going to reroll this one. That's a failure, and a failure there. But tons of saves. Uh-oh. Crom's in trouble here. He's got 12 saves to make here, 3+. 12 saves to make. He has 5 wounds. On average, if it averages out, you should survive with 1 wound remaining.
So, just to let you know, are there any additional AP minus?
There's no minuses, no, it's just pure power armor saves here to try and keep Crom alive. This may be the last firepower that's directed in towards him. We'll see. Depends what units are closer, but here we go. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds. Failed. Crom's gone. Another mighty hero from the Space Wolves removed. Tau defended themselves particularly well on this side so far. They have blunted this Space Wolf threat for sure. We'll press on with the rest of their firepower. There's still this reduced unit of 7 to fire at the 2+ cover save unit over here. But after that, I think what's left of the Tau forces can now direct their firepower down in this direction. Okay, so we're going to fire these now into the Terminators to try and reduce them down. So there's no marker light help here, so we're just going to go for smart missile systems and also the high yield missile pods as well. So it's going to be 2 lots of 16 shots from these broadsides here. This is what they've been designed for, taking on diverse targets and saturating with firepower. So this is the high yield missile pods, needing 4s though for hits against the Terminators. So roughly average. 3s for wounds. Okay, these are at -2, so you can drop to a 4-up save or take 3+ invuns. They're D3 damage a time.
I have to do him first.
The wounded guy. Okay, so 4-up save here. James, try and stretch out as many of these as possible. That's a 4, that's okay. So we'll take that one away. Next one. This is good. Good. What a hero. What a hero.
Come on.
Come on, be a hero.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know why I cheered. Why did I cheer? I don't know. Okay, so that's the D3 damage eliminated. Now we're down to smart missile systems. These will come through at AP -1. So He hates the Tau. I know, yes. Along with, what, 80% of the viewers hate the Tau. 4s for hits here. But the Tau will pursue victory regardless of their popularity.
Oh. Xenos.
3s. 7.
AP minus.
1.
Right. Here we go.
3+ save now. A better chance for this hero.
I'm just going to do regular saves, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. 3+ saves. That's fine. Yeah, okay. So 7 saves are 3+. If you can keep these Terminators alive. It's good rolling. 1 brought down. So that's that.
I'm not going to use my command reroll.
Okay, so that's that model gone.
Yep.
There's still 4 Terminators left. The odds are stacked against them. They can't destroy all this stuff, but they're refusing to die here at this stage. So now that's them gone. I've got a Hammerhead number 2 left, and I've got this squad here as well. James has these 3+ invuln saves though to try and get through. Okay, so we're going to fire all of these into the Terminators. It has to be done. So rapid fire plasma first of all. 8 shots. 4s. 3s. Shocker. So just the 1. It's AP minus 3.
I'm going to take it on the sergeant with the 3-up invuln.
Okay, so 3+ invuln save.
Take.
Passed. So now we've got to fire. I was hoping to try and bring that sergeant down, but now we've got to fire the solid shots, which we get 3 hits. They're all wounds because they're strength 8. No mortal wounds caused.
So 3-up invuln.
3+ invuln on the sergeant, yep.
Save.
Pass. This is where James is saving his reroll. Now you're going to need your reroll. This is D6 damage.
Yep.
3+.
Plus the steal.
Oh yeah, I'll try and steal a 6+. Nope.
Oh, please, I hate rerolls. Save.
Just about. And then 1 more left.
Oh, come on. Yes!
Oh! Well done. Just Hammerhead number 2 left for the Tau. Their options cut right down. I still think they've broken the Space Wolves here. James has lost some crucial characters, sadly. He needed to survive around here. If Murderfang had survived and Crom, then James would have been in a position to cause trouble for the Tau, but because of those losses, I don't think the Space Wolves can recover themselves here. But stubborn resistance, at least on this flank. Hammerhead number 2, smart missile systems, and the railgun. We're going to have to go into here. We'll see what we can do. 2s for a hit, 'cause we didn't move. Here comes the wound. 5.
Mortal wound.
No, it's not enough. It's 6s. No. So just a save here. AP minus 4, strength 10. Got to take on the 3+ invuln.
Yep.
With no reroll available.
No reroll.
Are you sure you want to take it onto that? You get 5+ invuln save on another model. Oh, it's tough choices. It's painful being put into such a situation. Tank it on the sergeant. 3+ invuln. Survive.
Survive, because it's probably the last heavy shot, I think.
Yes, it is. This is the last heavy shot.
This is a game.
Solid railgun shot. About to impact onto the shield of the sergeant here.
Oh, why?
Oh, agony. And damage 3. He's gone. Oh dear. No, he tried to withstand that kind of firepower, but solid shot railgun burst its way through the shield here. We're on 2s actually, so those are all hits. 3s to wound. These are normal saves here of 2+. 5 saves of 2+.
Saved.
Passed all of them. All right, that's Tau firepower complete. I'm not going to complain here. It's been pretty deadly from the Tau. Again, Space Wolves struggling to stay alive against the horrific firepower that's come from this Tau gun line. Even the Fire Warriors, their firepower has been utterly deadly. They've surrounded these Space Wolves units here, and a hail of firepower. 90, 100, about 110 shots coming from this gun line. Shock, horror, firepower from them. Down here, struggling though to deal with these elite Space Wolves units. James does have some options left. I think he's lost, but I think he'll still want to go into the next turn to try and... He wants to kill Tau as possible. Okay. So yeah, that is the end of the turn. We've got no charges. We could charge, but we don't want to. So that's it for the Tau. James has morale. He'll auto pass down here, just 1 casualty taken, and I think he'll auto pass there as well, and auto pass with the Wolfen. Okay, so turn is finished. We'll now go on to turn 3 for the Space Wolves. Right, so moving for the Space Wolves here. James is still going to press ahead with his assault. We reckon he can pick up a good number of kill points. There's some soft tower targets that he can go after, so he's still got a plan. These have conga lined along here. There's a gap just there in the rocks. James can see the drones. He's going to try and eliminate them. Now deny, line breaker, and pick up a kill point. Then across here, the Blood Claws, they're in range to strike. Now they've moved 6. Getting ready to charge into the Fire Warriors, along with Canis Wolfborn. Then around here, the Wolf and James used a command reroll to advance them. They will be able to charge. They've made it to there. And the Terminators moved to here. Now, tower units available to try and kill. This small squad, the Breachers, this squad, these guys up here, soft targets to try and take out, and these Fire Warriors. That's about 6 potential kill points available. At a long stretch, if James could take out like 6 points of damage, it would recuperate some of the wipeouts that he has suffered, and then maybe try and hide out and survive towards the end of the game to still have a chance of victories. It's not over quite yet. And we'll go on to shooting phase next for the Space Wolves on turn 3. Okay, so shooting done. A correction from earlier on. I was playing these as shield drones, so one of them should have been destroyed from the previous turn shooting. But anyway, James has finished them off with his firepower from this squad, so he will pick up a point for that. And then one Fire Warrior killed here. That was bolt pistol firepower coming through from this squad. And a Stormbolter shots coming through, trying to take out the Breachers here. No damage, or missed. Alright, so that's shooting phase finished. Not expecting much from the Space Wolves here. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next. We'll see what can survive the Overwatch here from the tower, what makes it into combat. Okay, Overwatch has been done. I'd say it's probably the deadliest Overwatch you've ever witnessed in the game of 40k.
Yeah.
It's been utterly horrific.
Your discretion.
So, yeah, casualty taken down here, but they made it in. But Canis Wolfborn was destroyed. He's just the firepower. He charged this unit here, but I made supporting fire with these. And these, they were just about within 6. You had volley fire, rapid fire, and 5s to hit. Just a ton of hits coming through. And just...
because he's a beast.
Was a beast, didn't get the cover, yeah. And so Canis had a load of saves, about 20 saves to make, or more, and he failed a load. And died. Unbelievable. These have charged in as a consolation. 4 Blood Claws. That's all that's left of this attack. And then around the other side, even worse here, the Wolfen were picked on severely by this unit here. James charged multiple units, but supporting fire coming in from these. And then the Breachers, particularly nasty with their firepower at AP -1. James found a load of saves there as well. And then failed to make it into close combat with a -2. James rerolled his charges, but still failed to make it in.
No, I failed to with the Terminators as well.
Terminators failed. Yeah, James rolled a double 1. He was inside the crater -2. And then a 1-inch charge isn't enough because you have to be... yeah, so it's failed there and no reroll available. And then we blew them away anyway with supporting fire coming in from this horrific unit here with its 8 shots here, 8 shots here, 8 shots from this, 8 shots from that, D3 damage coming through, 5s to hit, utterly devastating firepower, and the Terminators have gone. They really are one of the best units taking out Terminators. So that's all that's left. A lone Wolfen over here, that's all that's left of that attack, and 4 Blood Claws. The battle's over. We'll let James make some close combat attacks with this squad. So 12 attacks here. James is going to put them all into this weakened squad to try and pick up a point here. So 2s to hit.
Oh, I'm going to spend a stratagem into the phase.
Yes.
He's a lone wolf.
Okay, he's a character now. Okay.
This is a laugh.
It's an extra couple of wounds for him.
I've got no command points then.
I'm not sure if you can play it on Wolfen actually. We'll check that. But anyway, 2s to hit here with 12 attacks. And 3s to wound.
Yep.
He's going to try and get a kill here on the Fire Warrior team. There's a load of wounds. 8 in total, so he's scored enough. All depends on our dice rolling here. We've passed a load of our battle armour. We've lost 3 Fire Warriors. I'll fight back with 5 attacks. We get 2 hits and we get a wound. So James will need to make a save here of 3+ to try and keep him alive.
How many saves?
1 save, 3+. Yeah.
Yep.
Passed, alright, so no damage done. Alright, so that's combat's done. Resolved over here. There'll be morale for this tower unit. They should be okay. I'll just roll it up. A 6. I'll just use command. I'll auto pass. Just use 2 command points and auto pass. So that'll do. That's an automatic pass down there. And James can turn him into a character, but it's all irrelevant now. Really, the game is over. The battle is finished. The Tau gun line has held, and they have repulsed this Space Wolves attack in quite spectacular fashion. But James came close. He was a wolf's whisker away from launching a deadly assault, but just not enough manpower, wolf power here to make it in. Turn 1 was deadly, yeah. Tau took advantage of that and punished the Space Wolves at every step, every stage of this game. I think the key for the Space Wolves is an effective screen to try and protect the units as they move up. It's a conundrum here for the Space Wolves, difficult for them, but perhaps one of the toughest matches for them against the Tau. An army on the rise, an army that seeks to claim the top spot on the channel. Can they do it? We'll have to see in future battles. Okay, it's just totaling up points now. The game has finished. So Tau destroyed the Thunderwolf Cavalry, 2 Dreadnoughts, Crom, Canis Wolfborn, one of the Bloodclaws units, and the Terminators. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the flight is 8. No line breaker. First Blood, yes, is 9, and Slay the Warlord is 10. And then James scored 2 points for killing the stealth drones and the ghost kill. So 10-2 the final score. Clear victory here for the Tau in this battle. But it's been a debut for the Space Wolves. They've got a lot to learn. It's early stages for them, but definitely a lot of tactical and gameplay experience here for sure. Space Wolves will retreat, lick their wounds, and regroup and prepare to launch another attack another time. But definitely a lot been learnt for them. There's potential for the list for sure, but some adjustments I think may well be in the pipeline. But there it is. That's the battle here. Tau and Space Wolves have clashed twice. 2 deadly battles have occurred. If you want to see part 1, check out the Plus channel. But as for part 2 here on the regular channel, we have seen the Tau achieve a devastating victory here against this Space Marines chapter. Keep a lookout for more battle reports on both the channels. Great game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Okay, so units of the game for both sides. James is going to go for the Venerable Dreadnought. It was great fun to see him plunge into the ghost kill. Yeah, that was great. Shame he didn't survive too long, but it was good to see him in close combat. And then I'm going to grant it to this unit here. Devastating, utterly deadly. The Hammerheads were nasty as well. I'm going to grant it this time to regular Fire Warriors with pulse rifles. Just their massed firepower caused horrendous damage on the Space Wolves in this battle. Just to mention as well, if you like the Tau, full painting tutorial for them on the regular channel here, and then an in-depth painting tutorial for them on the Plus channel, and then also for the Space Wolves, they've been painted by Siege Studios. That's a painting commission done by them, so you can check them out at siegestudios.co.uk. But there it is, that's units of the game for both sides.